And welcome back to round one coverage of the 2025 Nantucket Open, brought to you by the greatest media team and the Nantucket Inn. And this is the back nine after a very exciting front nine with 5 of New England's top tier players. We have Paul Krans eating his sandwich there, as well as myself, Caseywhite, Kyle Moriarty, and Dylan Capaccioli. And we get into a very exciting, little bit more technical back nine here at the famous John Houck designed Nantucket Disc Golf Course, as we're snacking on some delicious pizza courtesy of Todd Rainwater and his Nantucket Disc Golf Club, who we appreciate very much. But it is myself and Raivis Markons-Craig here with you today. Raivis, what did you like about the front nine?
Well, I really enjoyed watching you go 9 for 9, that's for sure. Let's see if you can continue that. I think things are just heating up for a lot of these players. I know you're on all cylinders firing right now.
Yeah, as I mentioned, this back nine can be more difficult. It's certainly more technical and requires a bit more precision, especially coming after that turkey alley, as we have a very specific forehand shot shape off the tee here. We saw myself go driver. Paul Krans also going forehand driver. Let's check this. Sneaking through the branches, getting a big flare skip. That's in great position.
Yeah, bending to the right, this whole average 3.84. Connor is just a target machine right now.
Man, I'm sorry we didn't get the catch cam on that one. That would have been fun to see him. Could have been a little distorted, I guess, because of what went on. But, yeah, I mean, Connor's not standing in the best place, honestly. You want to push this as far straight as you can. You see Dylan go early right, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. It's much better to be too straight on this left side. As we see, that's the mistake that Kyle made. Let's see if he can work something out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get insurance policy for Connor Spilman anytime he films.
Yeah, it was hard to see that right there, but Wadz did go a little bit too far. So he's going to be back in the rough back there. And I do the exact opposite and come up too short. So normally the drive is the tricky part about this hole. Unfortunately, the second shot is what got me there.
Yeah, I'm surprised you left that short. I mean, you knew exactly how far you had to throw it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like one of those stock shots, and we see Casey executing it right there. There's a nice hyzer. And how about that Dylan overhand? With that nice roll into the circle, he might be able to save birdie.
Which is incredible because he doesn't throw thumbers, and he was asking the group for help on how to throw that. I think Kyle, shout out to Wadz, actually gave him a really good tip. Throw something very overstable.
Yeah, it's a good guy, Kyle. You can always count on him for stuff like that, as we cannot count on the 18 under to happen. Spare a few eagles down the stretch, as myself, I'm going to take my first par of the round.
Did it feel like a bogey for you, or was it just a
Yeah,
par?
I mean, this, like I mentioned, this back nine, especially after that turkey alley, getting into these couple technical par fours in a row, which we'll see. I don't feel like a par in any of them is too bad, especially after a good start. So although it was sad to lose the streak, you know, you got to face reality. 9 down through 10 is pretty dang good, and we got some more difficult holes ahead.
Yeah, 60% of the field actually parred that 30% birdie rate. A little bit different for this hole, hole 11. This is going to be 571 feet, par 4, and you're looking at a 23% birdie rate, so a lot harder than what you faced before, averaging 3.95.
Yeah, these par fours are all really similar in terms of the way that they score. I'd imagine we mentioned in the front nine how the par fives were quite difficult, but with some of those eagle chances or ways to make really easy birdie, there's no easy birdie on these par fours right here. They are true two-shot holes, and we're going to have to see 2 really high-level shots executed in order to get the birdie. So probably a lot more pars than those par fives, but a lot less birdies as well.
Wouldn't be a video without Dylan falling at some point. Glad we captured that. So Harry, I want to know your thought about this hole. Is this one of the hardest holes if you do not have a forehand?
I don't know. I've seen people do all sorts of things, and honestly, a good spot to land on this hole is just straight. This short grass allows that driver to skip nicely, which is why I think a lot of us are choosing it. But I've seen rollers and backhands get into great positions as well, especially with the way the gap is off the tee. It doesn't exactly force a forehand. Definitely plays better, though.
Now, after a birdie save on the last hole, Dylan is most likely going to birdie that one as well. Back-to-back holes for him.
Yeah, that is a disgusting shot. Look at this gap hit on the super overstable flex.
And that's a Prodigy disc. I mean, do you know, it's got to be some sort of driver. I don't think any other disc would be able to do that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those glow overstable 9-speeds. I forget exactly what disc it is, but I think it's the same disc that aced for him at Dacey during that GMT skins match. So
Unreal.
might be a H1.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'm not really sure.
That's cool. You guys are playing this hole so well. This is probably the hardest upshot in the course, I feel like, just because there's so many trees to navigate around. And I've seen nothing but perfection on this hole. Was that almost in?
Yeah, we had a cage hit here from Kyle. And we get this awesome catch cam view, this flexing overstable going with the Thought Space Athletics Vessel right off the cage there. What a beautiful shot.
That would have been, I think that would have went viral if that had gone in. That was a really nice clean throw there by Kyle. And speaking of clean, Paul Krans, one of the smoothest players on tour and so compact. He throws that entropy like it's his job. He's doing a really fine job showcasing how easy the up game can be for him.
Speaking of easy, that looked it.
What a gap. Oh, yeah.
All right, between you, Paul, and Casey, who's the better putter?
I think we all have our strengths. Casey, as he's mentioning there, loves the gap putt. I think he's pretty good at the gap spinner. Myself, with the straddle.
Oh, you got robbed.
Yeah, clearly not the specialty. I remember at the time thinking it was pretty much right on the pole, and it certainly was, but not quite a perfect putt. I did mention the front nine, how I do love these baskets. They seem to catch really well, but that was one I expected to go in and didn't. But back to your previous question, I don't know. I think our Circle 2 stats always float around the same, but I think depending on the week, any of us can be the better putter, and Nantucket is a true challenge of that, as we're going to see a lot of birdie putts. So I think the winner of this tournament will be the best putter.
That's an interesting point about the gap hits, because you'll see through the coverage that even through the skins match, he was lacing putts through gaps, and he almost enjoys it more than just an wide open putt, I feel like. All right, hole 12, moving on. This is a par 4, hardest hole on the course, averaging 4.18. This is a tight, true tunnel shot. Harry, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this is a great hole. On the shorter side, but really demands a specific shot. It's not too tight, although the gap does play much tighter than it actually is. We see a forehand roller from here. We even saw an upside-down tilt shot from caseywhite. And we have Krans going with the deflector, super overstable 5-speed. The gap is tiny off the tee for what you can see, but it's quite wide if you can get that flexing flight path. So not the super common shot for New England. A lot of hyzer flips and straight shots.
Thanks.
And this is a really nicely designed placement par 4 with that flex shot off the tee. You can't go too far. You have to hit that landing zone just right. And myself going standstill MD5 to hit that nice flex route. And it's definitely a bit of a different hole, but I think brings a really nice challenge.
I really enjoy this hole. I used to hate it because it was so difficult, but then I started admiring it because it's so unique. And you don't see holes like this. And wow, what happened there, Harry?
Yeah, the difficulty here should be the first shot. Unfortunately, I executed that one well. Second shot, not so much. But yeah, this second shot is a little dicey. There's kind of two gaps.
You have to be in the right
Yeah,
spot.
yeah. We saw Casey go for this inside gap. I opted for the outside gap. And either one you choose is quite tight, so that forehand has to be dialed. Mine was just a little off there.
No! Come on!
This hole had the highest bogey rate, coming in at 25%. So 1 out of 4 players bogey this hole. John Huck must be loving that stat.
Yeah, here's a great spot to land right here. Makes that inside gap quite easy because he can flex it. You saw where I was. I would have had to flex that later in the flight. Krans able to do it right off the hand and perfectly gets that birdie there.
I just feel like Casey and Paul were in such a good spot. Meanwhile, you really had a lot to deal with a couple of those trees, and then obviously the back end trees. So it's all about the landing spot for this one, and I think going forward is a little better than being short. Casey, another putt. Bang. I feel like he's heating up.
Absolutely. Didn't have the strongest front nine for his standards, but that's definitely a lot of birdies in a row. I believe missed hole 7, the shorty, as Krans sneaks that one in. But I believe getting every hole after that, so 5 straight for Casey.
Meanwhile, you've taken 3 pars in a row, Harry. What's going on? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it can happen quick. These par 4s, as I mentioned, technical, and I mean, you saw it right there. Nothing too crazy. Honestly, 3 really solid drives. Just when you have to birdie every hole to stay up at the top, little things can happen. Leave an upshot short, just miss on upshot, have a little bit of a chain out. You really got to be on the nail to keep birdieing out here.
Absolutely. This is hole 13. This is 526 feet. Par 4. Pretty straight shot. A little bend to the left, but very attackable for a lot of these players as long as you get out of this chute right here.
Yeah, this hole became a great deal easier. I feel like a few trees later in the flight were brought down. There's one famous guardian, the old wishbone that was guarding right at circle 1 that is now rotted away. So if you can get a clean drive out here, one of the easiest approaches you'll have on the course.
With the doubles format that's going to be happening at the preserve, something that I've noticed is that between you and Casey, you guys would be perfect right now with your scores if you were playing doubles in Nantucket. Is he going to be your doubles partner for the preserve event?
Yeah, I don't know. That was quite a shock to me when I found out. It's going to be a really exciting event for the sport, and yeah, would be happy to play with him as well as any other New England player or anyone else as well. It's going to be exciting figuring out who partners with who. But yeah, me and Casey, as you mentioned, are on that perfect doubles round right now, with me taking the front and him taking the back so far.
It's just so cool to watch. I mean, you guys are literally combining efforts to create the perfect round here. All right, let's get back to the coverage. You were in a tough spot, but you were able to ante out with that nice turnover there. Kind of a tough spot for you, it seemed like.
Yeah, super tough spot, and definitely lost my mojo a little bit. Like you said, super hot front nine. Haven't birdied on the back yet, and we see just how open the second shot is with a clean drive out there. Caseywhite making it look so easy. Just a pitch and catch for a birdie, and that's going to be another one on the back nine.
If the wishbone was there, that would have been more difficult. Todd Rainwater, get that wishbone back out there. That was that iconic wishbone right on that green approach there. I've seen Wadz do more kneeling any forehands than any other course.
Come on.
I wish you made that one, Harry. That was for birdie, right?
Yeah, that was for the birdie save, and unfortunately going to be a 4th par in a row for me on all these par 4s. And you see how easy it is Kyle right there had that birdie putt. And we have some bathroom runners trying to get access to that porta potty out there. But you see how it is. I mean, these holes are easy until they aren't. Kyle just misses a putt there, and all of a sudden gets a par in a really easy hole, and it can happen quick out here. For myself, you know, just a couple inches off of still being perfect, but that's how disc golf goes.
After the bathroom break, Casey forgot to putt out, so he had to return. It's quite funny, actually. And here we go, moving on to par 3, finally. A little shorty, but not easy by any means. This is 238 feet, 2.68. So coming back to what almost is like Turkey Alley, but one of the hardest par 3s on the course, I would say.
A cool one. Really defined gap the whole way, but keeps you honest. It's not like you have to just hit one gap and then you're golden. Tunnel shot the whole way through, and Casey has famously admitted to his struggles on this hole, even in the past going forehand P2, I remember. But he stepped up with that one and hit it perfect. And you could tell he was loving the fact that he's up there for a birdie putt.
I'm going to say it was the bathroom break. Leave a comment if you think it was as well. Here we go, Wadz piping one through. Leaving it a little short, kind of hit a last limb. That's what usually happens on this hole. You're taking your P2, right?
Yeah, that's the P2 right there. The Patriots died. Do your job. And shout out those Patriots right now, giving all of us in New England a reason to cheer. They're all shouting it too, and that looks like a birdie to get back on the track there.
Yeah, buddy. No more pars. Out of all the par 3s, which one's the most difficult?
Yeah, I don't know. This one is certainly a contender. I feel like 17 is...
Ooh.
Wow. Way to shut me up with that putt right there. Another gap putt for Casey on that slight Annie spinner. It's funny. He doesn't always Annie his circle twos, but clearly comfortable with it. But back to that question, I think I would put 17 as a little bit harder than this one. It's a little bit longer. There's no real easy way to get parked. You see the pure route leave people a lot of times at, 27 feet. So I would say that one's a tad more difficult, but interested to see how they score.
Good birdie by you there. So we're going to have at least 3 birdies here.
So where does this one average out in terms of difficulty?
It was 2.68, so minus 0.32, which is going to be the same exact average as this next hole, 15, which one you're on right now, which is a 542 par 4. Casey just kind of leaving that a little early, not hitting the gap. And I say early because he was trying to hit that right side fairway.
Yeah, it's funny that they average the same, as these are 2 wildly different holes.
Truly wildly different. One is 550, one is 238. Different pars, but the same exact birdie rate and par rate almost, like wild.
Nice little Nantucket special worm burner there. Able to stay under those limbs. So we're looking for the full flight forehand from Dylan.
It's all about the landing spot for this one too. You really want to pass the thicket here or just short of the trees where Dylan landed, because that way you can kind of wrap around them rather than being in your way. That snap. Where is Kyle getting this like power from? I feel like this was the most power I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, that thing is pretty brutal.
He's playing with the big boys. Kyle's a big boy performer. And, for a long time, he was the best player in this group for many years, I would say, while we were all still coming up. And Kyle's a competitive guy, and he was a great golfer and still is a great golfer. I think he gets a little extra motivation trying to prove that he's still one of the best in Massachusetts, if not the best.
Well, his rating went higher than ever, career high this year, actually. He's about 1009, 1014 rated. And again, he was leaning on that 980, 990 mark while you guys were growing up, basically. So it's interesting to see that he was able to get over that hump after you guys were able to get there first.
Go. Oh my God.
Crazy seeing the angles now. That's clearly the card is thinking that might have a chance to go in, and then you get the catch cam in. It wasn't even close, so only your eyes can play tricks on you.
Nice, Chase.
Going to the ante again.
That is the highest difficulty putt I think I've seen all day.
Wow, slight ante release. Maybe touches a branch and corner pocky on the right side. I don't know, but he is keeping it up with the putter doing the work. Caseywhite is now perfect on the back still.
He's doing what you did on the front. Make sure to check that out if you haven't checked it out already. Nice putt by you with that bush in your way, it seemed like.
Yeah, had to use all of the basket just like Casey. Luckily able to catch on the left side. And, yeah, that was a big putt to keep things going for me.
Well, let's see if Paul can keep on the birdie train with you guys. This is huge. I think I'm looking at a star frame.
Oh, I dare you to be happy about making one.
Little commentary
As
from
long as
Dylan
Kyle
there.
makes this one. Yeah, he's good. He's got that dad putt in him right now.
Just like over this, like over. Yeah.
He said he's been doing this a long time. He knows when to get that chew on. All right, 582 feet, par 4, averaging basically the same as the other two holes. Harry, what are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, this hole is a Nantucket classic, of course. Hole 1 of the Raz round, as maybe you've already seen. And plain and simple, if you're in the middle, you're doing great. So you can go for the big shot. You can kind of play for the fairway. But either way, you end up in the middle. You should give yourself a pretty easy birdie opportunity.
That was not great. I don't know if he was just trying to go max out, but tough little roll away for him.
Yeah, I like what Kyle's doing here. A nice controlled flat to hyzer. And if you get on the left side, it's not too bad because you have that pitch out forehand that he can do and put that left leg behind his lie, which is a lot more of a natural swing. And we've seen him do it a lot today, so he should be in a range to probably go with something slow into the green. So I like his chances to get up and down from there. As you see Paul, the opposite. Yeah, you see the opposite here. Awkward backhand being on the right side. Let's see if he can pull it off. I think he went faster there. This looks like a fireball.
That's a great throw. Incredible shot, Paul. That's a really good throw. Why are you complaining about protein water? Are you kidding me?
You hit the tree that Paul Krans hit last year.
Yeah, that felt a little unfortunate. The one tree to miss pretty much, but it's there for a reason.
It really is. John Huck was not messing around with this design. Only 13 birdies out of 44 players, Harry. I am shocked. And once again, Kyle's on the knee. You called it.
Yeah, you can see he's got this nice open swing, though. Still going to have to go around this tree, but not impeded from his normal. Puts a nice out on Annie. And no way, he hits the tree too.
Do you think he could have gone hyzer there, or just the angle would have not worked out?
Yeah, I don't know. It would have been a little tough to get his arm swing back there, but with these Nantucket skips, it could have been possible. But yeah, I don't doubt his decision making.
Jeez, Casey's making the putt look so effortless out there right now. I personally would like to see you and Casey be a doubles team. Leave a comment if you guys would too, or who you'd like to see, especially with Harry. He's listening and he's reading all the comments, trust me.
Every one of them.
All right, coming down the stretch, you're going on to hole 17. Any thoughts for you, Harry, other than just got to get the next two to kind of stay in contention for the lead card, I guess?
Sure. Yeah, this hole's a doozy. A couple different ways you can go. I think you'll see at least 4 of us go this right side backhand route here with the skip. Casey going FD1. And I do want to know, how did this one average out?
This averaged 2.82. All the holes average minus 0.18 or minus 2.3 on the back 9 here. They all average pretty much the same.
All right, so yeah, a little bit harder than 14. I would imagine this is the hardest par 3 we play. And Krans showing exactly why. Really good shot, but going to have a little bit of meat left on that bone.
You are correct that this averaged the hardest out of all the par 3s. But I feel like it's the same shot as 2.
Yeah, it's similar. It's a little bit shorter. And I think shots can kind of filter a little bit better on hole 2. If you just throw something pretty overstable on 2 and you can get around that corner. I mean, we saw in the skins match, I birded it going early. That's kind of tough to do on this hole. You can't really go early and get yourself a good look. And even the purest shot is still going to leave you with a long putt. I mean, you saw myself and Paul have really good shots. We'll see this shot from Kyle here. And it's just really hard to park this hole. And not everyone is perfect in the circle.
Yeah, you get a lot of weird skips on this one too. I've seen massive skips from the right side, from the left side, depending where you are. And I'm shocked that Dylan actually has a putt here. Not his best effort, but he should be able to clean up for the circle 1. Great putt. You were outside the circle there, right?
Yeah, outside the circle. I mean, you see that early line, unless you get something really flipping forward. And I threw an FD1, so not even a super overstable disc, but you got to get that forward skipping push in order to get close. We saw Paul again. I mean, this is a putt that I expect him to make, but the entire field, you know, you're going to get a few misses in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul has only missed 4 holes up to this point, so he's actually playing on pace with you. You guys are neck to neck.
And look at that. Another Annie gap putt. It's insane. The course is just giving it to him every single time, and they are not easy putts, and he's executed all of them.
Folks, he's been perfect since hole 8. Can you imagine that? And hole 7 he should have got if he actually didn't try to go for it. Wow. Casey's on a roll right here. Let's see if he can get a birdie. Potential eagle. You never know.
Yeah, it is a par 5, so there's chance for that. And he needs 1 birdie to get that perfect 9 under through 9. And with that drive, I expect him to get that at least.
Paul's missing that tree. Landing in a good spot. Left side is actually not a bad spot to be because it's going to play really straight. You could even put down a roller if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would love to be right where he's at. This hole is a tricky one. It's one of those holes that you can throw just right and make it kind of seem easy, but these gaps, especially these late gaps, are quite tight. And you're going to see quality shots definitely have different results. We have Kyle here just skipping past that tree. Really good way to play it, and like that shot is going to work for him probably 8 times out of 10. But there's just going to be times where you connect the roots or bases of some of these trees and just get bad luck. Dylan getting great movement on this forehand.
He's going to be in a weird spot, though. Right side is a lot more hectic than the left side. Yeah, see all those trees?
Nice.
Good check.
Yeah, that is a really far drive. And this hole averaged the 3rd hardest hole of the day for everybody, averaging 5.0. So holes 6 and 12 were the hardest. And we only saw 32% birdie rate for this, 14 birdies.
Yeah, Krans there trying to drop down the roller from the left side of the fairway, which is a bit confusing, honestly. Looking at that angle, it looked like he would have been better served just going straight shot. Doesn't have enough room to work it left. As you saw, that was kind of the mistake that happened. Me on the right side here, I kind of have the opposite problem. The straight shot is really difficult.
Yeah.
But I have that room to work it left. And Kyle's going to show us the bomb forehand play.
Jeez.
And that's going to work out quite nicely. It's funny, these par 5s, difficult holes on paper, but you can make it really easy on yourself. And Casey looking to do just that.
My gosh. Keep going. Keep going. How did that go
Wow,
so
look at this
far?
flight.
Was that a CD1?
He actually went Cloudbreaker 2 on that shot right there.
Wow.
And given that signature full flight shape, and I love what he did here. Didn't go for the park job. Just went for the distance in the woods back there and give himself a chance to make eagle.
We have the fans out there watching. I love this setting that they have on 18. He might get an eagle, which would be incredible. I don't think I've ever seen an eagle on 18.
Yeah, and we mentioned the front 9. The first time GMT has seen a 9 down through 9 performance. And we just might see a 10 down through 9 performances. Paul making me eat my words right there. Who cares if he goes roller, because he just parked it.
That was an incredible shot by Paul. Look at this forehand. Now, this is what I mean. Like last year, he did not have this. He wouldn't even been thinking about this, even on his healthiest day.
Yeah, able to use those Nantucket skips to his advantage.
That was 420.
What a shot.
Right? Probably 430.
I don't know. It's tough to tell. I would say probably a little under that, but definitely around the 400 mark, maybe 390.
That was a great approach by Dylan there. He's under the basket pretty much as well. Oh, he almost made one a couple holes back. Wadz giving it a run for the fans. All right, here we go. To go 10 down through 9. Wow. That's incredible. The only person to eagle this round 1.
Dominant. I mean, 10 down through 9 to get right back in this thing. I mean, we saw how hot some of these scores were on the front 9. He was way down the leaderboard. And the tournament that he's won 2 years strong now, he was able to take back control of with a super
It's
hot
just
round.
his putting. His putting on this back 9 was just impeccable. I don't think I've ever seen as much confidence and just mental toughness and able to hit all those gap hits. It's just with ease. Insane.
Wow, what a feature card. 15 down for Caseywhite, 14 down for Paul Krans, 13 down for Harry Chace, and then filling out the lead card, we're going to have Isaac Christensen. He's going to be joining the Buff Boys for that lead card, and he shot a -13 as well. Hot fire, 1045 rate.
It'll be exciting to see who can come out on top in round number 2, because we know, I mean, we still have one more round out here. things can easily flip, and I'm glad GMT is the one to cover all the action. All right, that's going to do it for round 1. We will see you for round 2, so subscribe so you don't miss that action, and come see what the island has to offer. We'll see you next time.